What's up, Doug?
Same old. Hi, Doug.
Hi, Doug.
How's everyone doing?
A lot of Dougs.
We're here.
All right. Now that you're here, I think we can get started.
Well, I didn't know you was waiting on me.
You're the most important one.
That's right.
I wouldn't have stopped.
Not too bad. Just kind of busy stuff.
This.
That actually came back to, us. Aaron has that. Yeah.
Good. I'll see what we get back. Good. So tell these guys I went through the new convention center.
I'd like to call this September 18th, 2014 Dearborn County Solid Waste
Nice.
Management District Board meeting to order. Do we have any additional agenda items? Okay, we'll move on to the minutes from the previous meeting for August 21st. Let the mayor get a copy here real quick.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any changes, comments about the minutes?
Move to approve.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
And a second, all in favor?
All right.
Hi.
Motion carries. Okay, the financial report, Melinda Smith.
Okay, as of August 31st, our ending solid waste balance is $308,775.87. There is nothing out of the ordinary, so.
Okay. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Claims.
The September claims registry here, it totals $52,218.83. Really the only thing out of the ordinary is Zimmer tractor, and that's because we had some problems with the skid steer. So that had to be repaired for $1,767. But everything else are normal claims.
Okay, any questions? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the September claims?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Motion carries. Move on to the resolution.
Okay, you're gonna see resolution 2014-2, and as we discussed last month with the vendor change from Greenwave, Junior has decided that Ileana Computer Recycling is our best option. We have worked with Doug Garner, and we've also worked with Hans from Ileana Computer, and we've got a signed contract. In that contract, we have found that he will charge us for the TVs along with the shipping costs. So we are asking to increase the television fee just for TVs over 39 inches and also the wood console TVs. And this is the cost that he will charge us. So with that being said, in accordance with IC 13-21-3-12 Power District, the district has the power to impose district fees on the financial disposal of solid waste within the district under IC 13-23-13. Whereas the Dearborn County Solid Waste District now finds it necessary to charge a nominal fee for the disposal of certain nuisance waste. The following fees will be implemented beginning July 1st, 2014, and will be applicable until the market dictates further evaluation. And as I said, we're just amending and adding the televisions over 39 inches and the televisions wood console, and they would both be $10 each. The resolution would be effective as of today.
Any questions or comments?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Motion passes. Okay, move on to the budget process.
Okay, I'd just like to mention that the next step in the 2015 budget process will be the public hearing on October 8th at 9 a.m. and then adoption will be October 24th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Oh, 25th, sorry. And then I also just wanted to mention that I know we've been talking about selling different items in that, and we did get a check from the hardback books that we sold for $1,616.64. So that's something new that we've not been able to sell in the past like that. And it did go to Royal Paper Stock out of Ohio, so it did go locally here too.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, we'll move on to the operations report.
And I'm going to give that on behalf of Junior today. First, I'd like to comment on the 2014 budget. We had an approved budget by the State Board of Accounts at $854,455. In-house, we cut approximately $80,600 just to help with our cash flow, to help out with our future budgets. So our adjusted budget then is $773,855. And the staff has been very cautious, so as of September the 9th, we were at 61.8% of our adjusted budget, which we would have expected to be at about 66%, so we're doing excellent there. So I want to commend the staff on that. Okay, under the operations report then, on the first page, you can see at the end of August, we are at 86.3%. Typically, at the end of August, you would expect 66%, and even in the past, we've expected about a 5% growth, but we're at 20% growth. And a lot of that is due in part to the Lawrenceburg cardboard that we're getting, and also the additional commercial customers. We have a couple of customers that we are picking up on a daily basis now, so that really helps the tonnage. We're at 198 commercial customers. But I think it's also important to point out that at the same time, our trash is only up 2%, or less than 1,500 pounds. So I think, we're doing a good job of educating the public, and especially our commercial customers, and getting what we need. Last year, we had sold a total of 1,142 tons for $69,675. This year, to date, we're at 920 tons, but we have already received $68,426 for that. And I was talking to Mindy, and I told her I remember the year, it was 2009, when we only received $20,000 for our sale of recyclables, and that was for a little over 1,000 tons. And then in 2011, we received $98,000 for 1,100 tons. So the market fluctuates a lot. On the second page then, Junior wanted me to point out that we are hoarding some of the materials to garner a better price, and we've added the additional sort to the plastics. The peat right now we're getting 12 cents for that. The collared is 38 cents, and the natural is 56. I'm sorry, not that we're getting that, but that's what the quotes are. The downside of doing the additional sort is that it takes additional time and space to do that. The extra acre in especially the building, allows us to do that extra storage. So that's been very helpful. The tin cans, he has a load ready to sell. Laura of Recycling Express, in fact, she called again today. She's put in a bid, but he's working with Buyer out of Middletown, trying to get them to up the ante on their load. So he's finalizing that pricing, so we should probably sell by the end of September, and you'll see it in your October report then. As Mindy said, Royal Paper Stock did buy the hardcover books at $80 a ton. They're also interested in our corrugated, our plastics, and our mixed paper. So that might be a future market for us. Aluminum cans, you know, with the metal prices up, it takes us a long time to get a semi-load, probably about 3 years. So I don't think we're even at a half load yet. On the third page, you can see that nothing hazardous shipped during the month of August. An update on the gutter and the roof. I understand that the staff was directed to approach the insurance company for some additional monies. Mindy Jr. and myself talked to the insurance adjuster yesterday or the day before about the additional cost, and he felt that the wood had rotted because of the prior installment, not because of the leaks now. He said the time frame, there wouldn't have been that much damage. But he was going to look at it and see if there was some way that he could rewrite it so that he could get us some extra money. So depending on what that insurance settlement comes
I
back.
got called bullshit on that. The adjuster, he's doing the chicken and egg. I mean, we bought the building as is, he insured it as is, whether it was put in wrong or not put in wrong, it's a result of the water running and rotting the wood. Bottom line.
We did the repairs, though, that were not done properly.
Don't matter, I don't think, does it, Doug?
Well, I'm not sure what he's saying. He's saying that is he saying that the damage pre-existed the incident that we're talking about?
Yes, but not the purchase of the building. He's talking about it as a result of the gutter insulation that we did a couple of years ago.
We have a damage claim due to the ice, right?
Right.
He's
We have
saying-
two claims. We have one because of ice and one because of the wind.
Saying that he can't replace all the wood because
It wasn't
it was
because
damaged
of the
prior
ice.
to those two incidents. Yeah, see what you can get, I guess is all I can say.
Okay.
Can I make a suggestion? Can our attorney call the insurance company?
Okay. We'll get you
Might talk
the,
to him for us, Doug.
Well, I'm not sure, yeah, I can
I
talk to him.
want clarification of what he's saying, and I think you can get that.
We'll see what he comes back with before we
Okay.
start laying the hammer down, trying to lay the hammer down. Because he might be more accommodating. I think it's a fair statement that if the wood's all rotted out, that it didn't happen in 6 months, but for whatever the period of time we're talking about since the wind and the,
6 months or less.
The other thing that might be useful is that the actual cost that's left, the insurance isn't paying for, is like $4,500. So, and $2,500 of that's gonna be our deductible. That's pretty much what we're going after, just so you guys kinda
$2
have an
grand.
idea.
So
What
that's
money
$2
we're going
$2
after.
grand, and if he comes
Yeah.
back and comes up with another grand,
Right.
we're starting to argue. But we'll see. Let me know what he says, and then we'll figure out if I need to get involved.
Okay, under equipment repairs, you approved the bill for Zimmer Tractor to repair the skid steer. Junior wanted me to let you know that it was the hydraulic pump that went out, actually cracked in 2 different places. He showed it to me, and Zimmer had told him that that's a very common occurrence in that piece of equipment, that model. So. The old glass crusher is in need of repair. We have ordered the parts. It's $700 to $800, but we do need that crusher to help to eliminate transporting the airspace on the clear glass. So in fact, I believe the last time the clear was shipped that we didn't receive anything because of the cost of transportation versus the value of the material that was in there. A couple of new concerns that Junior asked that I make you aware of. We did have to order 4 new tires for the newest cargo trailer. Apparently, those tires came in different than the ones that we have been using on all the other trucks and trailers, and we didn't have a spare. So he went ahead and ordered 4 of those. You will see that on next month's claim, as well as the parts for the glass crusher. A couple of concerns. One is the sewage bill has been high for 3 months now. Junior's been checking into this. We've been watching it, and he's also checking into it. And then just an additional comment on, under operations, our last HHW is on September 24th. Our numbers are low so far, and you'll see that as you flip the page. We're at 116. We need, this coming Wednesday, we need 119 customers just to equal our 2013 numbers. So not quite sure, not expecting that number for sure. At the end, after this coming Wednesday's program collection, we will reevaluate the program and see what steps we need to take then. And that's all for operations, unless you have a question for me.
Any questions? Thank you, ma'am. We'll move on to the education report.
If you would, I'd like to start on the total customers page, actually also with HHW. Just want to point out that there are 2 lines for HHW on this chart that we keep, one for appointment and one for event. The last couple of months, there were numbers that were put on the wrong column. So the end result is the same, the numbers are the same, they just were in the wrong place. So in case you happen to notice that they're not in the same place anymore, that's why. Also, I know I pointed out last month that document destruction has been going really well. We can officially say now that as of August, we've surpassed last year's total for customers for the entire year. So the shredding program is definitely establishing itself, and the Speedway just passed out about 1,000 flyers for us. One side for document destruction and the other for the costume program. And they actually just called and approached us a few weeks ago about that. They said, would you like us to pass out some flyers for you? We'd be happy to do them. I said, of course, absolutely. So then also on this page, you'll see that our website views are just where they always have been. That's something I usually point out on this page for you. And then if you would flip to the actual education report where you see the chart that I usually make is there at the top. The Educators Roundtable that I attended on September the 5th was in Avon, Indiana. It's at an outdoor learning center, and I never fail to learn a lot from my fellow educators from around the state. This is particularly interesting because they have acres of land that have been dedicated to environmental education and outdoor learning for the kids in their school district, and they bus in kids from other districts. It would be awesome to have something like that, especially for this region. But I wanted to let you know that I learned a lot from those people, and it's always a really great experience. I'll be meeting with them again in December. We did film our new cinema ad, so you will see the stars of the recycling center appearing again on the big screen, the big time in Greendale. We're focusing this year on some of our more basic services, the regular recycling, the drive-through, and shredding as well, since that's for picking up steam. We included some shredding in our, it's only a 15-second spot, so it's really brief, but we try to get in as much as possible. It has voiceover, so it explains what people are seeing. I'll be at the Heritage Festival this Saturday in Morse Hill. If anybody's interested in making scarecrow crafts, that's what I'll be doing. And passing out information, of course, especially focusing on our last HHW event next week, and the costume program starting in October. So lots of flyers about that. The association conference, that is the 1st and the 2nd of October, they'll be doing a silent auction this year, which is something different. The association conference, or at least that they haven't done in a long time.
And I've put together a kit for the compost stew program that I do with younger kids about composting. It's the same kit that I took last year to the Educators Train the Trainer event. And it was actually requested by one of our association reps. She asked me if I would put it together, or rather she used it as an example for the kind of thing she would like to have. So I thought it really prudent to put that together for them since they specifically mentioned it. And Mindy got the stuff ordered and it showed up in like 2 days, so it's already ready to go. And they've also requested education exhibits for the conference. And I'm going to work on building a visual representation of waste-free lunch versus traditional lunch, I guess you would call it, or wasteful lunch. So on one side you've got the really small amount of waste generated by packing lunch in a lunchbox, and the other side is 250 water bottles and brown paper bags and baggies and yogurt cups and plastic spoons and that sort of thing. So once it's ready, I might drag that down here to show you what that looks like. But I'm hoping that it is as impressive as I imagine it to be. So that'll be coming up. Of course, Costume Swap I've mentioned a couple of times already will be the Fridays and Saturdays in October. The library will be hosting a display for us again, so that gives us some good advertising for that. The program grows year after year. It's picking up steam just like the other programs that we do. RSVP is hosting a Halloween event. We will be, of course, participating in that again. It's a great opportunity to see lots of Lawrenceburg folks. And then last but not least, in the education report is America Recycles Day is November 15th. I know it's probably one of your favorite days of the year. If you would mark your calendars for it. I'm trying to put together something with Kroger again this year with the bag monster costume that we did last year. I just spoke with somebody yesterday about possibly having them sponsor some bags for us to do a giveaway of the reusable bags, and that would keep our costs down on it because, like we were just saying with the budget, we don't really have room to buy any extra bags for that. So hopefully they'll want to pitch in, and especially if we do, sponsored bag where it has their name on it and ours.
What do those cost?
It depends on what kind you get. I mean, anywhere from, and how many you order, of course. If you're getting 1,000 bags, anywhere as low as $1 a piece up to like $2.50 a piece. So it's not a lot of money.
Okay.
That'd look real good with Zerby, Garner, and Blondell on the side.
Good point. That's not what I was thinking of, but thank you. Thank you for that suggestion. I will take that past the executive committee.
Actually, we talked about in CAC last week was about kind of exploring the idea of doing more sponsored events like that, especially with our almost 200 commercial customers that we've got, and especially with the people that we do partner with on other things, like the dry cleaner that we partner with for the dresses, and the people that win the awards for the recycling program for businesses, maybe exploring that a little further, especially for like these bigger public events where we're handing things out. So that's something to explore there.
Okay.
Okay. So next on the list is the DCF grant. It was submitted on August the 25th, just the Monday after we met last month. Denise was not there when I took it down with Betty to turn it in, so I did call her and just ask to make sure that she got it. And she left me a really great message. She said everything looked really good, that it was well put together, and that obviously it would be considered. So that was really good to know. I really just wanted to know that she got it, but she did leave a real nice message about that. I also wanted to let you know that the update I gave you last month about the curbside programs basically still stands. Did hear last week from Aurora that their trailer has been delayed, so they likely will have a few weeks delay in their first pickup. But I'm not exactly sure. Kind of waiting to hear back from them about whether or not they're going to get an actual hard date for the delivery of their trailer. I guess, been delayed twice already. Kind of puts us in an awkward spot as far as advertising is concerned because, you know, residents in Aurora have already received a newsletter that targets the date for starting the program November 19th, which is what I told you last month. But in all likelihood, that will not be the actual date, so we can't really advertise more for a start date until we know when their trailer's coming. That's something that I cannot, seems like I can't actually even get the information about, so kind of waiting to see what they say. I mean, it will definitely be by the end of this year. And then in Lawrenceburg, I did send a draft copy of a flyer to Brad, and waiting to hear back from him about that, and to see if we can meet and talk about pickup dates and when do we come into the recycling center and all that kind of thing.
We're waiting on our trailer too.
Yep. Yeah, which is, you know, I think it's fine to wait until you get the trailer to really decide on some of the finer points, but there's a couple of other issues with, you know, when you're going to pick up and which days and how often and that kind of thing. And especially with the education piece as well, you know, residents getting more information, more specifics about what to put in their bins and what not to put in and that kind of thing.
We'll get that together, then we'll get ready to go. We'll probably pickup dates will stay like we are right now and see how it goes. As it builds up, we may add more to it.
With the Wednesdays?
Yes. Just to start out with, see how it goes. It's gonna be a slow process, get this thing sold.
Right, which is, I think, probably really a good way to think about that, to be realistic, that it's a slow process. But also you want to make sure that people are always getting consistent information too.
We will.
With especially with like the dates that they're putting it out, because if they're putting it out and then they're getting, you know, that's not getting picked up, or it's picked up the next week, and then people get frustrated with it.
Right. We'll probably lean on you for information.
Excellent. Lean away. That's what we're here for. And then last but not least, I did want to ask, this isn't on my list, if anyone would happen to know who I should contact about recycling at the new convention center, whether or not they'll be...
Hollywood will take that over. That's who you need to talk to.
So that's somebody through that organization. As far as just...
Greg, I'd call Greg Tufts at Hollywood.
Okay.
There's a woman who's a director down there that I met, but I don't remember her name. She's,
Tina Bojack.
yeah. I think she's booking the conventions, so I don't know if she...
That'd be a good contact too, Tina Bojack.
Just I'm interested to know what their, like if they're going to buy containers for inside the convention center, are they going to have public access to recycling? Because, you know, there's the back end, you know, kind of the back of the house version where you've got, you know, if they're preparing things or shipments and stuff like that, there's that recycling, but then there's also having access for the public to use. You know, I'm walking through and I've got a Coke bottle, I want to recycle it, that kind of thing as well.
Contact one of those people, they'll help you.
Thought some of you might know. That's why I asked.
No, we're trying to get it finished first.
Mayor knows everything.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I've got.
When you get this title, they think you know everything, but you find out how much you don't know. Right, Doug?
I know everything.
Well, he's been there 16 years.
Just ask me.
Yeah, he's a general.
Okay, any questions on the education report? All right, assume we're not going to have a CAC report?
Unless Sandy wants to switch hats for a minute, or she's on the
Oh, I'm
CAC.
prepared. I thought
Okay.
Bill or Paul was gonna be here.
Good, let's cut it short then.
Yeah, no report.
No report.
Okay.
They did have a meeting last week, and basically they saw the same agenda that you're seeing today, so.
Okay. We'll move on to the director's report.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to mention my appreciation for Mel's service, not only to the community, but as director of the district, I am very appreciative of his 10 years of service on the solid waste board. Molly did prep a thank you card, and if you'd like to sign it, Mindy will give you a chance after the meeting then.
Not to interrupt you, but city council appointed Aaron Cook to replace him.
And can Aaron attend meetings?
Aaron Cook,
Can he,
he couldn't be here today, he was in a negotiation, so he
okay,
should be our next
but
meeting.
he will be here, okay. And we'll need some contact information then so we can send him the notices
Okay.
and the minutes
I
and
have
such.
seen.
Okay, thank you for that. That was on the agenda. Okay, I'd also like to publicly thank the staff who continued with business as usual during my absence from the district. I'm very pleased with all of the growth that has occurred in my absence. I did return to work full-time on September the 5th. I follow up with Dr. Chan in Indianapolis tomorrow, and he expects to release me at that time. Is the pain gone? No, not totally, but it's about 95% gone, so it's manageable at this point. I am very glad to be back, and I've been trying to catch up. I've done a lot of reading and asking questions to get back on the same page as everyone. I'm also very glad for the opportunity to go to the State Association Conference on October 1st and 2nd to get back into the swing on what's going on with the state and what the projections are, the trends, et cetera. So I thank you for that opportunity. And that's all I have for my report this month.
Any questions? Any member comment? Public comment?
I have a quick question. We're talking about the HHW program, how the numbers aren't that great. I'm just curious what the correlation is to, like, how much advertising there is for it, and versus the numbers that you're getting. I mean, I know it's a costly program, but it's a good thing for the county. So I'm just curious if you're still advertising it as much as you're advertising some of your other programs.
We have run, as far as year to year, we've run the same number of ads this year that we ran last year. As far as I have to check, but I'm almost positive we have run the same amount of ads as we did last year, in the same places. But that's something that's always sort of on the list when deciding where to advertise things.
Sure.
That we have room to shift around our focus and where we're advertising things.
I'm just curious, just
Yeah.
wanted to throw it out there for something to think about, because I think it's a worthy program. I mean, there's material that shouldn't be out there, and it needs to be disposed of properly, so, and that's one place that people can go, so.
And that's what Junior had commented on, that even though the participating numbers are down, the volumes probably aren't, and some of that's pretty nasty stuff that we're getting in, so he's satisfied with the program. But I expect to bring back an evaluation of the program, and we can include advertising in that then, so thank you for
I
that.
know the advertising is hard. I mean, it's hard to guess where you're going to catch the most people, but it's just something I think needs to stay in mind.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next meeting is October 16th at 11 a.m. here at Lawrenceburg City Hall. The budget hearing is October 8th at 9 a.m. at the County Administration Building, and the budget adoption is October 25th at 9 a.m. at the County Administration Building. And with that being said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Meeting's adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen. Don't forget to sign.
On yours?
Oh, no kidding?
No, they'll property, that property.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
95,000, something like that.
I think it had basically the same things on there.
Lake in
Really?
Canada,
I think we cut 3.8 out of ours.
walleye fish.
The Junior's report would have been the same. I think Molly did update hers.
Fish.
It's up to you.
Did I find that wall?
Yeah. I know you'll recycle it after you're done with
Bring
it,
it back.
so. And we're gonna have to recycle them, so it might as well be you.
For everything.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Alaska. You gotta go for Canada, you can get up there pretty easily out of it.